Hello and welcome to my ICT Hub. This is John, your ICT tutor, where we make ICT concepts easier. Alright, today I will be solving the document production aspect of the May June 2023 paper 2-1. That's the IGCSE ICT examination. If you're ready, I'm ready. Let's get in and let's start. Okay, here we have the question. That's Cambridge IGCSE Information and Communication Technology. That's paper 2-1 for May June 2023. It's made up of three aspects. We have the document production, the database, and the presentation. I'll make videos for all of this so you could be guided and learn how to get it done if you find yourself in the examination. Okay, let's quickly go down. Please ensure you read through all instructions carefully before you start your examination. Now we've been given the source files. Let's check the source files. All right, here we have our source files. Okay, all complete. The first task says is the evidence document for task 1. Open the file J2321 evidence.rtf. When you open the file, what are you to do? Make sure that your name, center number, candidate number will appear on every page of these documents. Now to do that, we know we will be using the header or the footer, which I will show you that when we get to that. Save the document in your work area as evidence, followed by your candidate's number. For example, evidence 9999. You will need your evidence document during the examination to place screenshots when required. Let's open the evidence document and see what we are required to do. Here we have festival. All right, we need evidence. Where is that evidence document? Okay, sorry, I call that festival. Here we have the evidence documents loading up there. Okay, now I'm using Microsoft Office 2021, just in case you may know. Enable editing, and I want to maximize that. Close that. All right, now the first instruction says we should place your details. That's your name, center number, and candidate number. Make it appear on every part of the document. So you might want to either use the header or the footer. Let me use the footer in this situation. Let's go to our insert, come to your footer, and I want to use this with the three placeholders. You don't always have to use this. You could double click just below your margin, which is the area of the footer, and it will also come active. But I prefer to use this now. Let me just click on this, place my name here, John, place my center number. There was no particular pattern which you were given. If it's in the examinations, you are advised to make them all be in one part of your screen. Do not separate in the main paper. But because it's evidence documents, I might just want to play around with that. Let me keep it to the left. NG 1, 2, 3, and then we have 0001. All right, that's my name, center number, and candidate number. You could separate with a space or a comma, as the case may be. When you are done with that, you can close the header and footer, and we'll be sure that that will appear on every part of the document. Now, your evidence document, the statement, the question that says you will need to produce screenshots when required. Students have asked me in the past, how do I get my screenshots? Was an easy or a quick way to get screenshots that can be placed in your evidence document? Well, a quick way I use it for those of us using the Microsoft Windows operating system is a combination of keys. That's the Windows key, the Shift key, and letter S. When I combine those three keys together, Windows gives me this option to be able to take a screenshot. Just click on any region. When you drag and release, it's going to give you a screenshot of that aspect, which you can paste on anywhere in the evidence documents that way, and it's going to be an image there. So you can use that as a shortcut, or if you have an application which you use, sometimes I've been using LightShot in the past, and any other application that can help you to get your screenshots easily. But with that shortcut, it's a quick one. It's a utility app, so you will always find it on Microsoft Windows operating system. I believe the recent one. Okay, let's get down to the question and let's keep moving. Okay, I have not saved it, so let me save it. That's File, Save As. I click on Browse, and then I want to type evidence and my candidate number 0001. Now we're not specified to change the format, but I kind of prefer you change the format to Word documents, and click OK. So now that has been saved. Let's go back to a question. Open the file I'm done with this. The task 2 now says you are going to edit a document for the Tawara Cycling Festival. The company uses a corporate house style for all their documents. Paragraph styles must be created and applied as instructed. Okay, now we know that we are going to be creating paragraph styles. Styles we have paragraph styles, we have text styles and other styles, but this is specified that we will be creating paragraph styles. Now, using suitable software, open the file J232 festival1.festival.rtf. Okay, let me open that before we read through other part of the question. Here I have festival here. Let's open that. My software is Microsoft Office 2021. Just to remind you, enable editing. I would like to do something here. I have had students who, let me open that again, had a situation where they opened this and forgot to enable the editing. Okay, now because I've opened that, it's already, if you find a situation where you see that bar that says enable editing and you close it by mistake instead, and this document is not open for you to edit, you might want to close it and open it again. Or another quick way to go about it is just go through your printing. When you come to your printing, you will see the option enable for printing. Once you enable it from there, then you can go back to the document and it will be enabled for you to work with. All right, let's go to a question and see what we have to do. Now it says the page setup is set to A4, portrait orientation with 2 centimeters margins. Do not make any changes to these settings. Let's just confirm that. We go to our layout. Here we want to check the page setup. You can see the options page setup. So let's click on this dialog. Here we have the dialog page setup. The margin 2 centimeters. Yes, it's on portrait and we can see it's A4. Now we are not to make any changes to this. So let me just go to that. All right, let's continue and see what we need to do. Now the paragraph styles have already been created. Do not make any changes to these unless instructed. Let's take a look at the paragraph styles also. Here we have on the home menu, here we have the styles. Let me just open it up. All right, here we can see paragraph styles have been created. Here we have the CF body, we have the CF subhead, CF table, normal. Okay, so these are the 3 that were created. Do not make any changes. So let's close that and let's continue. Save the document in your work area with the file name festival. Okay, I want to copy that. For those of you in the examinations, take note you won't have that option of copy. You have to type it in. So please ensure that when you are typing, you type correctly. Let me type. Here I have festival. Okay, just before I go on, let's read the next statement. It says, make sure that it is saved in the format of the software you are using. Now the file is opened in the RTF. If you take a look at it, in the rich text format. Now it says it should be saved in the file you are using, meaning that this format should be changed. It should not remain as a rich text format. And so for Office, Microsoft Office Word, this is the format. The default format is the Word document. So I'm changing that to, and I want to save it. Okay, now it's been saved that way. Make sure that it is saved. All right, we've done that. Place in your evidence documents a screenshot to show this file has been saved. 1. To show what evidence do you want to show? That the file has been saved. How do I know it is saved? With the file name. Once I can see the file name, that is an evidence that it has been saved. Then make sure that there is evidence of the file type. So they want to see the evidence of that, because obviously the graders are not there with you in the exam hall to check, but with this they would have an evidence to prove that you actually did it. Okay, so in the work area here we've saved, this is festival.docx. So if I can have a screenshot to show the file name, and the extension will be a proof of the file type. If you don't see the extension displayed, you might want to screenshot up to this aspect. You want to expose this, open it up, so we can see that it's a Microsoft Word document. It's a document file. And if you have the extension here, you could just screenshot just the name and the extension. If your extension is not displayed on your system, you might want to come to your menu bar here, click on the view. I'm using Windows 11. So if you have Windows 10, but just locate the view, come to your show, and you want to turn on your file name extensions. Once you turn this on, it will be displayed there. That way you could go about that is also to right click and do that. All right, but let's do a quick way and a quick screenshot. Remember I told you the combination of keys is the Windows, the Shift and the S button key, and then I can do a screenshot of this. Yes, giving me evidence of the file has been saved and the file type for my evidence 1. Yes, and that is saved. Let's go back to the question. Now question 2 says, place in the header of the festival document your name, center number and candidate number right aligned. Unlike in the evidence document where it was not specified, here it is, they are being specific now. They want it to be in the header, placed in the header, and it should be right aligned. Okay, once again I might want to, let's make use of the header and the one with the 3 placeholders. Okay, when you click this, now these placeholders helps you in the alignment. We have the left, we have the center, and we have the right. So just click on this and then you can edit your name, your comma, your center number, you have a comma, and then you could also add, or you have to add your candidate number. Now before we get rid of these other placeholders, let's just read if there's any other thing we need to place in the header. It says place in the footer automated page numbers left aligned. So that means we don't have any other thing in the header. I want to get rid of this. Just click, delete, click here and delete. Okay, that's a quick one. Now to the footer. Still in this, while the header and footer is turned on, I just go click in the footer to give me the 3 placeholders again. Now to place my page number in the footer automated page numbers left aligned. A quick way I could just come here, click on my page numbers, it's the bottom of page, it's already left aligned, and that is done. But in case you need to place a page number with another detail, possibly the file path, the file name along with the page number, for what I've done now, you take note, it took away every other placeholder itself. Let me undo this. If I wanted this to stay and allow all the other details in the footer, how do I do that? You go to your page number, you have selected one of the placeholders, come to the current position option and select this, and then to drop it there, keeping all other placeholders intact. So you could insert any other thing. If it's like a file path, you are told to insert, or date and time, the document info if you want the file name, the file path, or other details that you'll be. If you are told to insert the file path, for example, I click on the file paths and you can see what it's placed there. But let me undo that because the question did not say we should do that. So I'm going to delete all other placeholders. Okay, I think that's about it. Let's check. Make sure that all the alignments match the page margins. No other text or placeholders. That's why I deleted all the placeholders are included in the header or the footer areas. And the headers and footers are displayed on all pages. Okay, let's go back and check that. I'm done here, so I can close this. Let's scroll down. Header, the footer, we have the header, the footer. All right, so it's displayed on both pages. So we can move on and it's within the margin. The next question says, create and store the following style, basing it on the default normal. Take note of this word, the default normal paragraph style. The default normal paragraph style. So let's create. It says we are creating, we are not modifying. Now, one of the things about creating, when you create in IGCSE, whenever you are creating or modifying a style, there's always a likelihood that you would have an evidence document to place at the end of creating the style. So take a look at this now. Here immediately it says, after this, we take a screenshot to show that you have defined the settings for the CF title style. Make sure that there is an evidence that you have based these on the defaults and normal. I'm going to give you the emphasis on this as we go to that paragraph style and place in your evidence document. So let's get into styles. All right, here I'm going to be using my styles. I'm going to open the style manager, and on this tool here we have the new style. Click on the new style, and that dialog box pops up. You can see the title says create a new style. So what's the style name we are creating? We have CF title. Once again, you will be typing in the exam hole. Well, lucky for me, I am copying and pasting. But if I was to type, I would also type. So ensure that you type it accurately. Now, do we have the style type is paragraph, like its question says at the beginning we are creating paragraph styles. There are other types of styles. We could have character, we could have table list, but in this situation we are creating a paragraph style. The next we have its style based on what? Now if you check a look at the question, it says basing it on the default normal paragraph style. So this is a very important aspect, that you want to change this to the normal. Okay, now that's it. Ensure you change this to normal. It's very important that you base it on normal, because that is part of the grading that will be looked out for. Okay, then let's take a look at other details that we have in the question. We have the font style should be serif. A serif font is a font with edge. A good example is Times New Roman, Cambria, as the case may be. While a sans serif font, sans means without. So without edges. That's an example is Arial. Like you can see this font right now, it doesn't have edges. So this is an example of a sans serif. But we are using a serif font, so I'm going with, I like to go with Times New Roman. Let me look for that. Times, okay. Sorry. Okay, that's it. Times New Roman. Font size should be 32. So I want to type 32 there. Okay. Now we should have, oh, there's something I did not take note of. Please allow me to quickly return back quickly. Okay, while I'm still working, take note of this. Now the position of my cursor when I began to create this style has a style at that point. It has a paragraph style at that point. Now, this is how I know the active paragraph style, the position of my cursor. Now, this is very important. You take note of it, because when you are done creating this style, it will immediately apply this style at the paragraph where the cursor is located. So if you take note of this, that this is, right now it is on the CF body. So the active style where my cursor is located is the CF body. So that when I'm done creating, I know how to revert it back to what style it should be. All right, let's continue with that. We have alignment is center. So I want to, this is where I have the alignment, the left, the center, and the right. Also have justified here. Then we have it should be bold and italic. So I turn on my bold and make it in italic. Then it should be single line space, 0 space before and 0 space after the paragraph. To do that, I want to come to my format, where you could get more editings or more style properties you want to add to the style you are creating. We have the font, we have paragraph, tabs, borders, as the case may be, whatever style you want to use, or whatever formatting you want to use. But here, it's a paragraph formatting I want to use, because it's the line spacing. So here I'm going to make it a line spacing of single. It's already single. 0 space before, 0 space after. Okay, that is set. Click on my OK. Now I'm sure of that. Let's just confirm. Is there any other thing? Oh, sorry. This is 9 space after. So it's very good you always confirm, please. It's good you confirm. So this should be 9 points after, not 0. 0, 9, and single. Okay, now that is done. Let's just reconfirm one more time. Serif 32, center, bold, italic, single, 0, 9. Times New Roman 32, bold, italic, center, 09. Okay, now that is done. Now before I leave here, remember I said you would always likely have an evidence document to prove what you have done whenever you are creating or modifying a style. So I have taken note of this. It's just a single style I'm creating, and I'm told to have an evidence of document of this. So before I leave that, to save your time, remember you're in an exam condition. You want to do this and do everything quick to save your time. So before I leave this style, once I'm done with it, I want to do a screenshot. Once again, that's Windows, the Shift key, and the letter S. And I'm going to pop up the screenshot for Windows environments. Now I can highlight this. Okay. And yes, I take my screenshot. Okay, once I'm done, I want to close this. Let's click on OK. And you can see now it has applied this, even though it's at the title. But the former style, the style that was there initially is the CF body. So now I return it back to the CF body. So please take note of that. If my cursor was in the body of the document, once you are done, like I said, it will apply that style to that format or that paragraph. So then you can return back to the default paragraph where it was before you created the style. Now let's go and drop that in the evidence document. So we have, let me paste that. Okay, and that is pasted. Wow, very big diagram. Okay, now it's very clear. So let's leave it that way and return back to our question. The place that in my evidence document. Apply the CF title style, that's what we just created, to the text Tawara Cyclic Festival. Okay, so my cursor is on this paragraph already. I don't need to highlight. It's a paragraph style, so it will apply to everything in that paragraph. Let's just locate the CF title we created and click on that, and it will apply it. Okay, we move on. It says change the page layout so that the subheading, the trails, and the following text up to and including the paragraph ending their equipment is safe is displayed in 2 columns of equal width with a 1.5 centimeter space between the columns. Okay, so let's see how to do that. First, let's locate the subtitle or subheading, the trails. Okay, where's that? All right, here it is, the trails. So you said including this and everything down to where the paragraph ending the equipment is safe. You might want to visually look for that towards the end, or better still, you could just use your find to locate this, but it's usually close to the end, either the second to the end of the last paragraph. But just in case you don't locate it quickly, just use your find. As you come to your editing here, you want to use your find. Once you click on find, then you can type the text and it will locate the text in that document. All right, so I know I'm going to highlight up to this point. So let me click behind the paragraph where I'm starting from. Then I could just go down to the end of that document, hold down your shift key and click there. And everything will be highlighted. Either you do that, if it doesn't work for you, you could click and use your shift key, or still hold down shift key and highlight down to where you want to stop. Okay, this way I'm stopping. All right, that's whichever way works for you better. It's just to make it easier for you to get the results you want. Now, once we've highlighted that, you want to go to the layout, and here we have the columns. Now, I could have just applied 2 columns here because the question says 2 columns. But remember, there was an addition that was added to the question. It says it should have a 1.5 centimeter spacing. Now, this will not specify the spacing. So I have to go to more columns where I can actually specify the spacing in between. So here, when I pick 2 columns, here you can now specify, this is the width, sorry, and here you have the spacing. So I want it to be 1.5. So I'm going to just take a 1.5 centimeter. Okay, and that is done. Then I click on OK, and it would apply the 2 columns that way. Okay, so let's continue the editing. I'm just, in case, I just noticed also one thing. Peradventure, you open your document, that is your application, office application, and you can see that your dimensions or your units, it's not in centimeter, it is in inches. There sometimes we have such situations. You might want to change it to centimeters or type in centimeter. How do I change it? Let me digress briefly to do that. If you click on your file, come to your options here, that's in the backstage view, click on the options, and you want to click on advanced. And from the advanced option, you want to scroll to the display section where we have the display. Now this is the display. And here you can have the units. So you can change your units from inches to centimeters or whatever units you would like to use. So I'm in centimeters, so I'm okay with that. Okay, so now let's get back to the question. I've done this. Import the image J2321 rider.jpg and place it in the paragraph beginning all trails start and finish. All right, let's look for all trails start and finish. Now here I have all trails start and finish. Once again, you might want to use your find if you can't locate that easily. But because I have located that, I have my cursor here. I want to get that file, so I'm going to go to my evidence document where we have the jbrider.jpg. Here it is. You might just want to copy that. You can click on copy here, or you right click and you click on copy. Where do I have my copy option? Okay, I have it up here. Click on copy, or you can use the shortcut Ctrl+C. Any of the 3 that works quick. You get the file to be copied. Then you come back to your document. To my rider. I've placed my cursor here. Then you can easily paste that. And there it is. I use the shortcut Ctrl+V. It will still paste the diagram there. Okay, we have the diagram there pasted. What are we to do? Now reflect the image so that the bike points to the left. Right now you can see the bike is pointing to the right, and we want to reflect the image so that the bike points to the left. So to do that, you select the image. Once you select the image, you notice the menu pops up that is picture formats. When I didn't click it, it wasn't popped up. So once you click on it, it becomes active. You click on picture formats, then you want to come under the arrange group. Here we have the tool that is the rotate object. Click down and you come to flip horizontally, because you just want to flip it to the left. So it's just an horizontal flipping, inverting. So you click that, flip horizontal, and now we can see the bike is facing the left. Okay, let's move on. Just before I go on a little, your rotate tool, you could rotate 90 degrees, 180, and if you don't have any rotation that is not within here, you can go to more options and specify the angle of rotation. Here you have the flip vertically, and you can find that if you're asked to do that. Now, reflect the image. Okay, we've done that. Now format the image so that it is resized to a width of 4 centimeters with the aspect ratio maintained. That means the ratio between the width and the height should be maintained. So when you are reducing the width by 4 centimeters, in the same ratio in which the width and the height should still reduce in that same way. So how do we do that? Just let's keep this down for now. Come to the under the size. Here we have the height and we have the width. Just go to your width and reduce it to, please let me confirm that is 4 centimeters. Okay, you want to either type that in or you could just click anyone that works quick for you. And you notice that as I am reducing it, the height is also reducing, meaning that the aspect ratio is being maintained. So as you reduce it, the height is also reducing in the same ratio to the width. So we have 4 centimeters, the height has the aspect ratio for the height has also been maintained. Now we move on to the next question. It says this image is aligned to the left column margin and the top of the paragraph starting that. Exactly, that's what we have. It's to the left and it's at the top of the paragraph. Next, it says the text should wrap around the image. Now, right now the text is not wrapping around it. This is the text wrap options here. If you don't see that there, you can also come to still in the picture format. You can see we have text wrap option here. If you click on that, you can go with tight or you go with square. I think I prefer to go with the tight. And now the text has wrapped around the image. Clean. That's neat. Good job. Now we move on. The next question says apply bullets to the text from bike handling for children to yoga for cyclists. All right, let's look for that. So we have here the list: bike, cycling, handling for children, down to where's yoga. All right, so you want to highlight all of that list and you want to turn on, please let's check again. So apply bullets. The bullets was not specified, so I could use any bullets. Some questions, an actual bullet might be specified. Please take notes. If an image is specified that is not listed here, you can go to get the image, define the new bullets. Then you want to go to the picture and possibly check, or sorry, if it is a symbol, you want to check for the symbol, locate the symbol if it is not there from here. And if you don't easily locate a symbol, I recommend using this wingdings. There is this group here, the font type wingdings. Yes, any of these, they always come with a lot of images which you can use to locate whatever symbol you are told to use, just in case. But let me get out of that. For now, we are not specified. We just choose any of I think I like this. I'll go with our bullets. Okay, and that's the first one has been applied. Now, what are the things we have to do? Make sure that the bullets are indented 1.5 centimeters from the left margin. All right, for the indentation, you want to go to your layout. Okay, and here we have the indentation on the paragraph. This is indents. From the left, it says 1.5, so I want to increase that to 1.5. Yes, that's 1.5 cm. It's done. The list is in single line spacing with no space before or after each line. All right, I might want to go through this, and the way quick way is you can come here where you have your line. This is where you have your line spacing. Select single line spacing, remove space, after paragraph, but I prefer to use this so I could be very sure of what it is. Sorry, what did I do? Okay, my 1.5. Okay, now come to the single line spacing. It says no space before or after each line, so both of it should be 0, and you click OK, and that is done. And lastly, there's a 6-point space after the last item in the list. So I want to go to just the last item, not the whole group of bullets this time. So click on just the last item. Once your cursor is there, space after should be 6 points. So I can easily do that here and increase it to 6 points. Okay, and that is done. Let's go back and continue. The next question says, locate the table in the document, delete the entire column and contents with the heading lunch. All right, let's locate the table. Here we have the table. Fine. Now we have this distance, lunch fee, and climb. Now we have to delete this aspect of lunch. A quick way to do that, just place your cursor in there. You can right click, you'll see the flyout. You can have delete here, or you drop down here, you have delete. When you click on delete cells, it's going to ask how you want to delete. Or another way to go about that is come to the table menu that will be displayed this time, table layout, and you want to use your delete option. And now these are the column, this is the row. So we want to delete the entire column lunch. So I'm going to just click on delete column and it's gone. All right, we've got rid of that. Yes, now let's move on. Format the left column of the table so that it looks like the left column of this table. Okay, so you can see now this has a background of black. All the grid lines are visible and it is slanted with the text colored white. All right, so let's turn on all the grid lines. So I'm going to click on this. I'm going to go to your table design. For the borders, I want to show all the borders. So I'm going to come to all borders visible. Yes, then I want to you're going to merge this aspect. You can right click and merge, or you come here and merge all the cells. Then next, you can see the text is actually writing up. So we go to the text direction. Click this the first time, it's going down. The second time, okay, now it's at the top. Then take a look at the alignments. It's at the center. So I want to use this. Okay, then lastly, it has a black shading and a white text. So you want to go to your shading, come to design, give it a black shading, and the text is already white. Okay, so I could leave it there. Let's take a look at, okay, now you can see the headings of the columns are not wrapped. Here I have this wrapped, so I want to expand this to ensure it's not wrapped. Expand this. I could get back to you later. Try and expand this to ensure it's not wrapped. Oh, sorry. I think I've given this too much space. All right. It's too much. All right. Ensure it stays within the boundaries of the paragraph there. You want to click it to be at the center. Okay, not this. The whole table should be center aligned. You want to go to your cell size just to be sure that the table is center aligned. Here, okay, you can see the alignments as the center and click on OK. All right, now that is done. Let's take a look at everything. Yes, it's all displayed. There is no wrapping. Now, apply the CF table style to columns 2, 3, and 4 of the table. So we have column 2, 3, and 4 all highlighted. And I just close the styles now. Okay, and I want to apply the style, so let's go down to the style. Here we have a styles group. I want to open it up, and we are applying the CF table. So we have the table. Okay, that is applied. Good. Now make sure that all text for each row displays on a line. 1 point black. Okay, internal and external grid lines are displayed when printed, and now the table borders and all the data fit within the column width, and there is a 6-point space after the table. All right, let me go back to the borders. I could close this for now. Let's close this. Go back to the table. for the borders, so I want to change this to 1 point. Let's give it a 1 point, and I'm going to repeat this and say all borders now. Okay, so it's going to apply it to all the borders of the table. I can reduce this a little bit now. Okay, fine. Now it's still within the width of the column. Let me reduce this a little. Okay, that's nicely done. Pick the table. You want to go to table size and just ensure that it is aligned at the center. Okay, so that is done. Now there is a 6-point space after the table. Now you can't apply the 6-point space with the table. So what you rather do is you come to the paragraph that is after the table and you apply that 6-point space before it. So I'm going to increase this, and I have the 6-point space. So you can see we have a 6-point space after the table just before the next paragraph. Okay, then we move on. Locate the text asterisk new in the table and format it to be superscript so that it looks like this, 150 asterisk new. So here we have it. I want to highlight that. Let's highlight that. Okay, then you want to make it a superscript. So here we have a superscript. This is superscript. Oh, sorry, that's increased font size. My beg your pardon. This is the subscript, and this is superscript. So I click on that, and it's going to make it a superscript just as the question requested. Now let's move on. All right, we're almost done. Spell check and proofread the document. All right, you want to go to your review, spell check and proofread, or you could use your shortcut F7 as it is displayed there. F7 is the shortcut. Spell check, it says there are no errors. I'm okay. Okay, sorry, I think I highlighted that. Let's do it again. All right, so there's no errors in the document. Now make sure that the list and tables are not split over the 2 columns of pages. So let's take a look at that. We have our tables now splitted. We have our list is not splitted. Right, let's move on. Then the next one says there are no widows or orphans. Now widows or orphans has to do with the headings and the paragraph content. So we have our subheads with the paragraph subhead. Okay, here, all right, and coming down here we have a subhead, but here we have there is a little widow here. So I want to move this down. I would have also loved to move this whole paragraph down, but let's see what it will look like because we have a part of it here. Okay, now that is down. Okay, and that's already fixes this. Okay, so now we are sure all the paragraphs, there is no widow, no orphan in both aspects of the document. Yes, this is good enough. Now let's go back. It says there are no blank pages. Yes, we don't have any blank pages. The document is just 2 pages, no blank pages. Okay, now let's also confirm that the original styles are maintained. We've done that. All styles are applied consistently and the spacing is consistent between all the items. Okay, I think that is done. So we don't have any widow orphan across pages. We don't have any splits, lists, or split tables, and we don't have inconsistent spacing. Then save the documents using the same file name and format using step 1 and print the document. So when you're done, you want to save it. We have already saved it initially with the file name festival. So your Ctrl S or just click on your save button here and it's going to save. Then to print out, I always advise my students, take a look at what it's going to look like in a PDF view that's in your Acrobat Reader view before you actually print from your printer. So let's see how to do that. You could click on print. Where do I have my print here? Okay, I have it down here, print, and I want to print out in my Microsoft PDF printer. Print to Microsoft PDF on Windows systems or Microsoft Office. You will be able to see this. And let's click on print. But from here, I can actually see my print preview. It's fully visible. I think this is good enough. What if I still print it to PDF, which is what it will ask where I want to save the document, the printout. Let me save it here as printout 1. Okay, and let's save it. Let's take a look at what that printout will look like. Okay, here is the final document. And I think we are good to go. You have your headers, you have the footer, you have all documents, your table, just the way it looks like. It's not over the margin. You have your image which is wrapped, and that will be good. So once that is done, I think you are good to go. If you like what you've watched, I would appreciate you please hit the like button, subscribe to my channel, and you can hit the notification button so that bell, so when I drop another video you will be notified about it. So I'll be making videos for the aspect of the database and also the presentation aspect of this year's question. But till I see you again in my next video, take care and have a nice time. Goodbye.